Today we're going to take a look at how to graph a parabola in standard form without converting it into vertex form or intercept form first. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take my graph f of x equals x squared plus 6x plus 8, and I know that this is in standard form, which is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And the nice thing about parabolas in standard form is that you know the vertex is at the point negative b divided by 2a as the x value, and then f of negative b over 2a. This is basically saying that the x value of the vertex is going to be this value, which we can see from the formula. You will find out the reason why this is happening when you get to calculus, but it has to do with the changing slope of the line. But just for now, you'll just need to know that it is negative b over 2a. And then f of negative b over 2a is simply saying the y value, or the output of the graph when x equals negative b over 2a. There's really no other value this could be, because this is just the value of the function when x equals negative b over 2a. So what we're going to do is we're going to find that. Here we see that negative b over 2a is negative 6 divided by 2. So this is going to be negative 3. And we're going to have f of negative 3. And this is the vertex. Okay, so now let's calculate f of negative 3. This equals negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 8. This is going to become 9 minus 18 plus 8. 9 minus 18 is negative 9, plus 8 is negative 1. So that means that our vertex is negative 3, negative 1. So now I'm going to plot that point. Negative 3, negative 1's right here. Alright, so now I'm going to make a graph, and we're going to just kind of do a couple points. So in this form of an equation, so A is the vertical stretch or shrink. So that's very helpful because it tells us how this changes when we move over. So this means that when I move over 1 from the vertex, I go up 1, because in this case our vertical stretch or shrink has a equals 1, so there is no stretch or shrink. So this means that when I move over 1 from the vertex, I go up 1, and I would do the same on this side. And when I go over 2 from the vertex, I've gone up 4. So my parabola is going to look like this. And you can see that I have 2 roots. We want to graph f of x equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. Once again, we know that in standard form, which is y equals a times x squared plus bx plus c, the vertex is the point negative b divided by 2a as the x value, and then the y value is f of negative b over 2a. Here we see that a equals 1 because the coefficient of x squared is 1, which tells me there's no vertical stretch or shrink. Alright, so now let's calculate the vertex. Negative b over 2a is equal to negative 6 divided by 2 times 1, which is negative 3. So now I need to calculate negative 3, and then the y value is f of negative 3. So I need to plug this into my equation. So f of negative 3 is equal to negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 9, which will become 9 minus 18 plus 9, which is 18 minus 18, which equals 0. So that tells me my vertex is negative 3, 0, which is right here. Now, because there's no stretch or shrink, when I move over 1, I go up 1. And when I go over 2, I go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll have another point here and here. And so my parabola is going to look like this, and it looks like I have one root. Finally, let's graph f of x equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 5. Once again, this is in standard form. Standard form is y equals a times x squared plus bx plus c. And the vertex is negative b divided by 2a, and then the y value is f of negative b over 2a. Here, b equals 4, and a equals negative 1. So this tells me that negative b over 2a is going to be 2, because it's negative 2 divided by 2 times 1, and then f of 2. So let's find out what f of 2 is. F of 2 equals negative 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 5. This tells me that it's negative 4 plus 8 minus 5, which is equal to negative 9 plus 8, which is negative 1. So that tells me my vertex is at the point 2, negative 1. So let me mark that right here. Now a is negative 1. That means there's no stretch or shrink. But since a is negative, that tells me that there is a flip. So instead of going up, I'm going to be going down. So that my parabola is going to open down, is what we say. Okay. So now when I go over 1, I go down 1 because there is no stretch or shrink. And so when I go over 2, I've gone down 4. So my parabola is going to, oops, that one should be right here. And so my parabola should look something kind of like this. And here I have no roots. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good weekend.